What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Superman issue number 12. This one is written by Joshua Williamson, and then we have the art this time around done by David Baldion and Norm Rapmund. So this one, again, takes place after the events of the previous one, where the Lex Luthor Revenge Squad, if you will, unleashed that kryptonite gas, which is toxic to humans, onto Metropolis, and they were going to basically like showcase this was Lex Luthor's plan all along. And they thought, like, what better way to humiliate Lex and by like making him out to be like the villain that he is, if you will. So I thought this one was a pretty good issue. This is basically the end of this story arc before we go into the next month's event, which is the House of Brainiac thing, which Williamson is going to be writing. So that's going to begin in Action Comics, which I guess I'm going to have to start covering Action Comics on the channel a little bit, at least for the House of Brainiac event, because I am actually kind of looking forward to seeing a Brainiac-focused storyline, if you will. So also, sorry that this video is a little bit late. So I'm going to be catching up between this, Titans, and then World's Finest, and then tomorrow more stuff will come out as well. So next week's going to be a big week on the channel because GXK comes out, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, so I quite like this issue. Lex Luthor is kind of forced to be like put into that heroic role. Superman can't really go outside at this point because the kryptonite will basically instantly kill him. So he basically kind of has to take charge of Supercorp and actually work with Lex Luthor and Lena Luthor to try and stop this whole thing. We also get a little bit of history about Lex and like what really happened between him and Farman Grant, if you will, like him in the past and how he really wanted to be kind of seen as this hero, if you will, and then he kind of betrayed them because their visions didn't align. Same thing happened with his mom. Parasite, if you will, is kind of brought into this thing, and he's kind of utilized to kind of help take care of the situation, if you will, to help clear up the gas. There actually is some cool looking designs right here. Like I said, Superman gets his like Supercorp looking suits and all that, and ultimately they all work together. Lex and Lex Luthor's mom are about to kind of fall, and then Superman ends up having to save him. Lex is kind of hailed as a hero, and the others are kind of put into jail. While that's going on, Clark is kind of questioning a few things, like why did all this stuff happen right now? Also, while this is going on, Lobo escapes from wherever the hell he's been at. Then we get the tease for the House of Brainiac event, if you will. So a lot of different moving pieces within this storyline. I thought it was handled quite well. I've really been enjoying the Superman title. The art's a little bit different this time. I feel like, though, like the art has changed a bunch of times throughout this run so far, but it's still been consistently good. There hasn't been a bad issue of Williamson's Superman run so far, and I'm really thankful for that. I think when he's working on just like a singular title or something like this, where it's just that and not really an event focused stuff, that's when his stuff is at its best. It's when you get to like the big huge events where things start to fall apart. Now House of Brainiac is just kind of a smaller crossover between the two main Superman titles. I think there's some spin-offs maybe within it, but it's not like something like Dark Crisis or Night Terrors where it just encompasses everything. So I'm kind of glad about that. I'm like, okay, if we're gonna do events, like if just confine it to like the main Superman book or something like that. I mean, because I'm excited to see what Brainiac has to do, because I feel like it's been a while since we had like a good Brainiac focused storyline, and I'm interested to see how it all unfolds. I hope that like he can pull it off, because when it comes to these events and everything going on, so many of them just kind of fall short of the mark, if you will. I can't remember the last true comics-wide DC event that I really enjoyed, other than like some sort of mini-series that was kind of cool. I've been covering Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong. While that's really outside the main bits of continuity within the DC universe, it has been an awesome crossover epic type event book that I feel like more people should be talking about. I think it's been a lot of fun. But as it stands for right now, I think the Superman run's been pretty good. I like the stuff with Lex and how the town kind of has to, like, you know, kind of cheers them on, if you will, and Superman and him forced to work together. There's always something kind of fun sometimes about a hero and a villain working side by side for the greater good. I mean, Lex Luthor kind of goes through these phases where obviously he's been Superman's primary antagonist for many years. Sometimes he also works alongside him, and you don't always know what his ulterior motives are at the end of the day, and that's what to me makes him a really interesting character. Is sometimes, okay, is he really in the good this time? Is he not? Ultimately kind of goes back to bad generally, but then there's those times where he actually does something good or shows that he cares for something. Lex is just a very interesting character, and I think they showcased that pretty well here. I'm just gonna, you know, have to wait and see where they take him next. So yeah, I've kind of rambled on long enough. Not much much else to say about this. Really enjoyed the first 2 arcs of this book, and I'm hopefully looking forward to House of Brainiac because, again, it's another event, and I'm really event fatigued by DC right now because then we got that Absolute Power event as well. Just event after event after event. Can we just take like a year off events? If you're going to do stuff, just do a little like cross title stuff where it's just maybe 2 titles that it's affected, like the Superman one seems fine. That's just between 2 titles within that Superman property, so that doesn't really bother me too much. But when you have event after event after event, it gets to be a bit much. Like, we just finished Beast World and we're already setting up like the next big event. Can we go a little bit of time without them? That's kind of my main gripe. But anyways, so what did you think of this issue? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Hit that bell for notifications. Next up, I'm going to cover Titans, and then I'm going to try to get to World's Finest. After that, I may save that for tomorrow. Or, you know what, I might just post it up today. I haven't read it yet, but I did read Titans, so I got some thoughts to say about that one. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.